might be passing that would maybe be ambush type material.
Right. Just heads up, Mongo is going to kind of hang with you, Guiden, and you two. He's going to wink at you and kind of say, "Oh, I suppose we're we put out the fires, eh?" And he
Yeah,
kind of gives you.
I think Mongo and Judge Dredd here should be kind of they should kind of work with each other. I think they'll be more effective if we
the big
play with
punch.
them as a 1-2 punch. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, 'cause that's what Mongo is. He's kind of a tank killer. Righto.
Unless you want to put one of these NPCs out front to be the
I
guy
get water.
That's up to you guys.
Yeah,
It's up
unless
to you.
yeah, you want to put somebody out front that'll be the guy that steps in the spike pit.
Yeah, I named the character Cannon Fodder because I thought he was weak and ended up being one of my best characters.
So yeah, so Dredrick is usually close to you, Guiden. Like
I think so too. Yeah.
He's your shield man in some ways, and he has got that crossbow speed. I think, right? On
Yep.
that, and then while we're doing peons here, Dean.
Yep.
Where is Zhang gonna be?
Zhang's actually pretty good stealth wise as well as armor class, so she doesn't mind taking lead on this. And if we trip off some of them psionic attacks and stuff too from anything like that, she's got a good defense against that too most of the time, unless she makes a bad roll like last time.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's actually
first
that's right.
let's use an enemy though. Whereas,
How far ahead would you be generally? Because you could sometimes like you could fluctuate it and
yeah. Depending on the terrain and how difficult it is, anywhere from probably 20 feet to 20 yards, because we can't
okay,
see.
so close. You're close
Yeah.
then. Oh yeah.
Just far enough to see farther out than the main group.
Now, do you have a light source or do you have some sort of night vision or something going?
The dragon blood eyes.
Nice.
From being resurrected with all that red dragon blood in me.
oh yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah. And you guys had to give up your wave to what's their name? Or his name? Who was the god again?
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Oh well, that's
Yeah.
cool weapon.
Difficult to go.
What weapons do you have now? Are you on your martial training mostly, and you still have that whip thing, that belt?
Yeah, the red dragon tooth chain whip.
Got it. Okay.
I ripped out those teeth. Brandon ripped out those teeth for you.
Yeah, that's come in really handy. And the only other real weapon she has is that left arm.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's so Zhang is a killer. One of the more powerful in the group in some ways. Yikes.
Her and Guiden are big damage dealers both.
Oh yeah.
But she's got the stealth ability too to sneak that Guiden doesn't, so she doesn't mind being up front. I've got Hondo pretty much worked up now.
Got it.
She's advanced in the temple guard of the temple, and is wielding a Naginata, which will be like a support fight weapon. So she can still be 10 feet away and strike from like behind somebody else. So if we're fighting up close in melee, she can support from distance.
Okay.
Then that Naginata is like 7 to 8 feet long, plus arm reach, so you can really reach with that.
Got it.
And I'm working Trickio up with a Lajatang, which also is a long weapon, but it's got like a double crescent on it, one on each end of a staff. So it's a fairly long support weapon too. So they're more support, like second rank pole fighters more than anything for the support from the other monks. But they also have their martial arts training. So if we do engage a group, the two of them could possibly engage lesser peons and leave leaders and spellcasters to us, basically. So if we're
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and they're kind of going to be bodyguard helpers, warriors in the group. Okay.
Yep. And if we say we hit a group of like 8 or 9, they can go ahead and engage melee cannon fodder guys on the edges or whatever, and leave us to not have to wade through all the chaff to get to the big guys.
Sure. And I had default, and I just want to change. I had Hondo kind of bringing up the back.
Yep.
But that's your call. So.
Well, yeah, no, they don't have the armor class that Zhang does. They don't. Now, I haven't got any equipment on these guys at all yet because I'm still in the process of working them up. But that's kind of what I've looked at when I went back and worked on them this week. So.
Sweet. All right, and sorry about everybody, but doing the crunch here, kind of first session going into the Underdark, so we just had to restart Roll20. Cool. Okay, so that's Zhang, and Trickio is going to be kind of floating around the middle, I assumed, and kind of being a flanker.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then could also protect Silk if need be. If something some guy tries charge in the middle.
On that note, Silk, where are you going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to be kind of in second position here, and I'll give I'm pretty stealthy too, and I'll support Zhang with I'll have my bow most of the time, and I can there's certain spells that I can help you with too if the need arises. But mostly I'll give you some support fire.
Does anybody have? Oh, sorry, Brad. Let me know if you have like a spell always going.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple other things. I'm wearing Drow chainmail and have a Drow scimitar. So if we're gonna go through that checkpoint, that I have to, it lasts for an hour, so I have to take it a bit before we get there. But I should be able to. But I can't speak Drow, so I'm just gonna have to be very quiet and just let Bodica do the talk.
Yep. We could support each other a little like that, even though there's a little moral discrepancy between the two of them. They can.
Well, and stick one guy with a dagger. You never live it down.
No, you haven't yet. You're really still getting a chat about that every week.
Yeah, the self-righteous eagle.
I'll just deflect it off every time and try to change the subject.
That's your way and my way.
Is last but not least.
I'm thinking I would probably be more toward the middle or toward the back. And I would try to listen as much as I can for any signs of ambush.
So and sort of favor the rear at the moment because the middle. I'm assuming because good to have the bookends, monk at the front, thief ranger at the back, or vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now the ranger, of course, you're a bit out of your element, ironically, Bodica.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're the only drow who was raised on the surface, as far as you know. And so, but your nature kicks in some ways. I mean, it's the Underdark, but you don't have those inherent drow skills, and tracking abilities down here are a bit not as good, of course. Anyway, so we're ready to go. Everyone gives each other a nod. There are some light sources going that project out in front of Silk, and Silk you can see in the dark as well. Is it? Yeah, he's an elf, right? Or no?
Half elf, I thought.
Half elf.
Half elf or elf.
So Trickio and Mongo and the others, they have a light sources going that projects. Just to let everyone know, you guys are emitting light.
Yeah. From
the middle and the back. Hondo needs light source as well. Mm-hmm. Bodica, if you want, you can. I could assume that you're drifting back once in a while, but be warned, if you do that, there's a chance you could get into trouble. Just like Zhang, when he's going out front a base, he could be in trouble too.
Yeah. She could be getting she could get in a lot of trouble if she trips something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And this a hex crawl mode, everybody, is how this is going to work. So basically, when you go hex in a hex crawl, there's dice are rolled, and unless there's a labeled event or an encounter, there's basically all comes down to random encounter chances, of course.
Mhm.
Just so you know, a day could go by without running into a soul, or who knows, right? Right now, you don't assume to run into much traffic. The drow have probably pulled back and skedaddled. You've ruined the plans. And remember, not all the drow are not united, and they're not all against you. Remember that. It's not like the drow are giving a united front by any means, if they ever do. So some drow might be supportive of you guys, in fact. Glavdra, of course, made a deal with you guys. Anyway, that's a long ways away. Here we go into the Underdark. You're hoping in 4 or 5 days to reach this outpost, if that's your intent. Unless you change your mind.
I don't think there's really anywhere to go. There isn't really any side patches there, is there?
It doesn't say on the map.
Yeah.
That was basically the first stop from this this end.
Right.
So.
And that's an outpost guarding, like I said, a bunch of primary passageways crisscrossing there. All right, I'm gonna get a quick drink so I don't dehydrate or get dry mouth. And we're going in. So here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I memorized a couple of new spells that might be handy down here that I had. A little handier. Show us psionic though. Jim's got psionic, so that's a super handy thing. But he's busy for a while.
Yeah, sounds like he's building his own house or something.
Yeah, so that's a ton of work. And he's
Yeah, that is a crap ton of work.
yeah. Yeah, my brother built a tiny house, and even that was a crap ton of work. That was just a little house.
We've got a renovation we're doing here in the fall. It's going to be quite the endeavor.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't even begin to try and do what we're doing on my own.
the scary part about renos is the stuff you uncover. All of a sudden you find out you got black mold or leaky pipe or something. Ah, crap. Hopefully you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping these guys are smart enough to ask the right questions, and hopefully we don't have a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
We've never lived in a new home, so this will, we've always bought little older homes that had some work to do just because, we're like, oh, well, we'll get a little cheaper and then
Yeah, they get good deals.
we'll do the work later. Well, it's later.
Yeah.
I'm pumped, everybody. We're starting this epic journey. It might be a bit grindy at times and whatnot, but that's always fun too. I was thinking of something I was just going to mention before. Damn it, just slipped my mind. I hate when that happens.
My mind gets slipperier, but by the day, I tell you.
Slippery mind. Okay, well, whatever. Can't be that important. So descent into the depths of the earth. Here we go. And you guys head in, and right away you can tell, wow, this is so alien and different. Except Mongo and Boudica, you kind of get goosebumps a few times as you feel that longing and pull to embrace the dark side.
Which is the way down.
And yeah, there's areas where you find the passageway might have turned completely around. And sometimes it's only through Boudica and Mongo they stop and converse for a minute and make sure that, well, I think we're on the right path. And on that note, who is actually going to be your Pathfinder. Because as you guys go, there's side, all of a sudden there is a side passage, and you've made a couple bad calls. Well, you follow one for like a quarter kilometer or something before it just comes to a dead end or something. Our big chasm goes down into nothingness, and it's just not a dead end, and you have to backtrack.
I don't know. How do you feel, Boudica, about going being in front? I mean, you're a ranger. Your AC just got a little better.
Yeah, you do have
Did
that.
with that armor. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it got
mean,
a
you're-
lot better because it
That'd be
went
wise, I
to
think.
-4 or -5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
As long as under draw
better than me
armor,
then.
though, it melts after you leave.
Yeah, because I have a
Yeah.
well, because of my dexterity, I have a -4 to
Oh.
to armor class, and I think Darren said it was a 1, so that's no, so it's -3, but still really good.
Okay, yeah. You're
Yeah,
just
so
as
I'm-
good as
I'm-
I am then.
Not volunteering you, but just in terms of,
No,
kind of someone who's got an eye for pathfinding, being a ranger. Maybe it's not the same if you're underground. So
Yeah, it does
No.
make logical sense. I agree with you there.
When you
Well,
guys
between the
search-
two of us making wisdom choices on which looks to be the trail we should be following, the two of us should be all right up here then.
That's fair.
Yeah, don't
And-
count on Stoke for wisdom.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
thinking like these are all like wisdom type decisions.
Yeah.
What does this path look like, the one we're supposed to be following on the map, or does that one look? Well, this one looks to have more traffic. Well, what your rangers say? Well, this one has more traffic. That one may look bigger at the moment, but it doesn't have as much traffic.
Yeah.
Those kind of decisions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, this one was used recently, but it's not used frequently, if that makes sense.
And I did err. The scale on this map is a bit smaller than I thought, actually. No, we'll keep it at this way for the moment, because it's slow going down here. You realize you have to really go quite slow sometimes. Anyway, so Boudica goes up front, and the dwarf, you guys stop for your first rest after you've gone for. Actually, you figure you can cover a hex at the best in prime location on a primary best. What is the word I'm looking for? Conditions. You can cover a hex in probably maybe 8-hour shift. You might be able to get 3 if you push it, but you'll have to rest. You can go 2 shifts without fatiguing. I'm going to kind of say before you start to have effects. Without sleeping and resting.
Mm-hmm.
So the first shift goes by, 8 hours. And you guys had to go backtrack from a couple dead ends. There was one point where you were kind of like, maybe we should rope up because there's a kind of a slope that went into this pit on the left where it just went into blackness, and everybody was real careful. It was real primary ambush point. I'm not going to do rolls at the moment or anything, but it was tense, and you guys passed through. Is anything on anyone's mind, or anybody want to have thoughts about, as some of you've never been in this oppressive Underdark situation where you now realize there are just the vast amount of rock above you.
I do have one question. Does any of this seem familiar to Silk? Because remember, a big chunk of his memory is gone. He may have been in the Underdark before. He doesn't really know.
At the moment, no. Silk, good call, Brad, but I had a few different ideas for Silk that come much, and not spoiler alert, Brad, but they come much later. I've thought of Silk's background.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I thought I'd ask because.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, but for the moment, you're a bit of, you're used to open spaces, that, and you're not that any of you get claustrophobic, but some of you get a little bit antsy. There's beauty in the Underdark. You find yourself stopping and looking at some extravagant little mushroom or fungus that's all swirly colored, or some beautiful snail. You know what I mean? There is some, yeah. There's veins of quartz and things like that are beautiful. You hold the light up to and sparkles and things, and there's some tense moments where there's a loud thud and a bang or you'll hear some weird screech off echo down a passageway, and the weapons spins around and things, and you just oh, wait, and everybody's in full mode, spells readied, but false alarm. Who knows? Some creature some predator or something making a move, or just some rocks falling. And but so far, no encounter. And the passageway, not that it was maintained, but it's a primary passageway, so it is in fairly decent shape, and it could be used by merchants and stuff as well, right? The primary passages.
Mhm.
So, anybody have anything in the first 8 hours as you pass through what you estimate perhaps a hex? And we hit the next one, unless you want to rest or anything. You want to go another shift?
I think we're
Uh,
okay.
Probably
I
rest
mean,
pretty good.
we don't have any wounds to heal or spells memorized.
So yeah, but that was 8 hours. You said, Darren.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I guess it's one of those toss-ups whether we try and push an extra half shift a day to make distance, or well, I guess for now we could. We still want to have some downtime and rest time to recover from just moving all day too.
Like I said, you can go 2 shifts without possible consequences
Okay, well,
before you
what do you
start
say we
fatiguing.
try a second one, guys?
Do another
Yeah,
hex.
let's go.
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Isn't that sphere thing getting bigger and bigger by the day?
Yeah, it is, and we know we got a long way to go, so we really do have to make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, you could
Especially
have a
down
short
here.
rest just for physical endurance.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you guys are going pretty quick, like as quick as you safely can. Now, if you want to go double speed, that'll have consequences involving like detecting things, of course, and ambush, everything. It becomes harder.
I don't think that's a wise decision.
Neither do I.
Okay, so here we go. So you guys can draw on this map, by the way, if you want to. We could start a line at least. Let's see here. So start it here. Now we're going into the second one, and there was a moment where you come to a twist, the passageway corkscrews, and descends on a slow kind of. You realize a corkscrew is Mongo's like, "Oh, we used to call this squirrely." It's where lava at one point had flowed in a circular pattern descending, but he keeps muttering on and talking about it, and flattens out. And after hours tick by, Zhang, could I get a either wisdom check or intelligence check?
Okay.
Cool.
So
Because you're
just a
scouting. Boudica's
D20.
with you, but you were kind of the scout. Boudica's the tracker,
Yeah.
pathmaster. Okay.
So just a
Right.
D20 roll.
So default, I'll go to Zhang for kind of upfront.
Okay, we're good for by 2 points there. Or 1 point, I think. Give me 1 second. I think it's 17. Wisdom 17. Yes.
Okay, you found something in the passage up ahead. You're not sure what it is, but there's something. An alarm bell goes off. Not an ambush or something, but more there's something wrong with the terrain. You notice that part of the floor, parts of it is kind of have sunk. You know what I mean? And the layer has gone down in pieces. In one of the pieces.
Anyway.
Yeah, we might call Silk up here and maybe even Mongo too. See if there's something unstable or if it's like a sinkhole or anything like that. So have both of them look ahead there into that range.
So Silk's like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, Silk, you kind of. I'm not sure.
Obvious. It just I would be really careful stepping over it because it looks more like it's kind of a sinkhole. It may not hold our weight. But traps per se.
Oh, pardon me. I didn't mean to roll that. I meant to roll.
Man, that fails a lot of the time.
And all of a sudden, Mongo's like, "Stay still, stay still. Oh, by the gods' beard, stay still."
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
That warning.
Nobody move. And you guys feel a little shift in the floor. And there's another section sinks and the others sink deeper. You know what I mean?
Ooh. I cast a fly spell.
And he goes, oh, quick, get ready. Yeah, so you cast fly. Zhang, what do you do?
I'm gonna back
The
away
floor
from this.
collapses.
Okay,
in
then she's
chunks.
gonna basically do some gymnastics here to bounce off falling pieces in the wall to get back to solid ground.
Right. Now Mongo
I try to grab
unfortunately came forward, so he's like, ah, shite. And he tries to run. He doesn't have a spell or anything like that. Anybody else want to do anything, by the way? Everyone's a bit spread out, just to let you know. They kind of went a little ways ahead and were, talking and looking at, pointing at the floor, and then all of a sudden the floor just went and gave way.
Yeah.
I gave everybody a round to kind of react
Yeah.
because Mongo successfully spotted it.
Yeah, since I'm pretty agile, I'm gonna try to get to level ground.
So I'm going to say everybody who was in the front is basically has to do something.
Okay.
So that was you, Boudica. You're now in the front.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. So you give me a saving throw
Okay.
versus paralyzation, poison, or death magic.
Okay.
And
Yes,
Mongo
sir.
has to do the same.
Ew, let you go, come on.
Why
As
does
a
it
large
mention whether you can grab somebody and apply with them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh.
my computer is running a bit slow right now. I'm gonna try to jettison a program to see if that helps. Come on.
Okay, so Mongo, he manages to clear the sinkhole and move away. He succeeds. If you didn't succeed, boy, you can be in a bit of trouble.
You know what? My computer is still turtling, so I'm going to just
I could
use
roll
a.
the-
I'm just gonna roll with a 20-sided.
Sure.
Call it good.
And where's Boudica?
I think that'll do.
Oh yeah. So just one of the many encounters that can be very dangerous as a sinkhole kind of just erupts in the main passageway, taking out like an 80 foot chunk altogether and just going down, and you can just see big plumes of dust pop up, and it sort of self-seals eventually. Oi, Mongo's like, hey, be careful, eh? He chuckles a bit. Oh.
A little bit of shifting shale there that's not exactly stable.
Right. And another few hours goes by as you guys continue on. And like I said, sometimes it's a bit drudgery as you're creeping along, and there's sections that are quite small. The passageway goes down. It's only 15 feet high and for long ways. And after a few dead ends and backtracking, you do the second hex without encountering anything besides a sinkhole. And now you guys are feeling you're tired a bit, but you can carry on if you wish. Basically, if you carry on, you'll lose a temporary constitution point for every shift you carry on. And you can't get that constitution point back until you rest.
This is the end of the second session.
Yeah.
So
I
how
think
about
we-
we look for some place with a little widening section or a little pocket section off to one side or something where we could get out of the line of sight of the main run and
Hey, Boudica,
take a
Yep.
rest type thing.
you're the scout master or the path master, so if you want to roll to see how good of a location you find, basically. So this would be a wisdom or intelligence check, we'll say. And the lower the better locale you find.
I remember.
Okay. And you guys,
God bless it.
well, it's interesting.
Indeed.
Interesting. So you find, to your surprise, you find a worked passageway branching off to the side. And after some tense moments and like everyone hunching down and getting, now I've lost my map here to my chagrin, but I'll describe it. There's a worked passageway. It might have been the work of dwarves because it's pretty, the entrance is pretty low. It's like 5.5 feet. Yeah, it flies long gone. It's, oh yeah, this is like 3 hours later. Anyway, it's short and it goes into a little side cavity that was worked, and it was a natural cavity that was worked. You could tell, and the walls extended and some flushed out, and the ceiling's only about 6.5 feet tall. It's probably, the passageway is about 50 feet long by about 20 feet wide. At the north end is a pool of water, and there's water dripping into it, and it seems really clear mineral water, like really, you can tell it's nice water. And after Silk searched out, he gives the place an okay. Actually, Silk, no, actually give me a intelligence or wisdom check. No, fine, give me a find traps roll, of course.
And I've got a 70% chance, and I can't believe how many times I failed.
I know, I'm like, oh dear.
Look, it's against it. There's something going on, man.
All right, so
Twice more just to see. No, there's something. Yeah,
well,
bad ones.
and people, I've heard people really complain about, oh, Roll20 is broken, the algorithms or whatever. But you sit there and you roll some dice, and you'll be flabbergasted sometimes how many weird rolls you get in a row and such.
Okay. Anyway, I am.
But no, I hear you though, Brad. It's like Roll20 hates you.
Yeah, I don't know. At least for this thing, it does.
So Boudica, you say, well, this is actually pretty nice. It's a you can keep moving on if you want, but this is got really fresh water, and it checks out. Silk gives a nod, and Mongo looks around and he's like,
Fill up on water.
but you've been going for a long ways. You guys are all pretty tired, and this is a nice spot, but it's a bit obvious perhaps, unless you can cover up the entrance or something, or but you could carry on. But you know, if you just came from a long extended twisting passageway, you would have to backpedal for an hour or two to search again, unless you want to move forward.
I say
Do
we
we want
take
to-
it, guys.
Yeah, do we want to try to figure out a way to disguise the entrance?
Is it just a straight? If we use light in here, will it be seen right out of the main passage?
Yeah, light really travels amazingly well in the end.
Oh no, this area doesn't require a light source.
Oh no.
No, it's lit enough that when you put the lights out and your eyes adjust, there's that you notice that as well. And that room and the whole area around here, and the passageway that carries off into the darkness, or not the darkness.
Like lichen or something like that that's glowing?
No, actually here there's some lovely crystalline veins of crystal, and there's some source that's giving off light somewhere behind it, so it's coming through the crystals and creating this really ambionic bluish light.
Oh, okay.
Quite pretty, but it lights the place and quite well. It's almost like you had lights on in a basement. It's like, ooh, nice blue light though. It's like, ooh, nice.
So we
my brain about this, but I'm not sure what.
Are we able to see like a moderate distance if we have somebody on guard back down this room if anybody was to come in?
The passageway does go fairly linear, like up straight here, and you can see quite a ways.
It's not a bad place then. We're not giving off a light source. We can actually rest here. We got fresh water. Overall, this isn't a bad place to stop.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's too nice.
Well, we can't.
Is
we
it
can't
is
pay-
is it a dead end? Can we tell, or is it just keep going?
No,
Dead end.
dead ends at the pool, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the room is enclosed. Yeah, and Silk searched. There's no secret passageways or traps or anything. I do have the map. I'd need a minute to actually rig it up, but at this point,
Unless you roll something for an encounter, don't
so
have
you
to worry
guys
about it.
exactly, and so on.
Well, we can set a couple of guards at the door, and to warn of people approaching, and still not necessarily be like obvious, you know, uh, obstructing the way of any normal travelers here. So I think that's what we do is we have a couple people we put on guard duty. We've got a couple NPCs here. I could rotate in. Dedrick and I could take a shift. And
Yeah, I say we take what 10, 12 hour, like take a 12-hour here where everybody gets at least the 8 hours rest, and we have good meal time and everything to get the body recharged and go for another good double run.
I assumed with 8 hour assumes that's with rotations and everything
Okay.
with people on guard duty. 8 hours is a pretty good segment of time.
Yeah.
Right. You can get a good rest in 6 hours on combat footing.
Okay. And we've got enough people. We can do 2-hour rotations easy. With 2 or even 3 people on each one with the extra henchmen and stuff around. I'd say everybody fill up on water too. You never know when you're going to get next water. That's a big thing underground too.
Yes.
Yep.
Food.
And the water does check out. It's awesome water.
So in that case, drink your fill. We'll drink our fill before we leave again and top up all our water skins in case the next night doesn't have water source.
Yep. Okay, and I'm just okay, I'm just getting the map ready. Give you guys a little bit more, shall we say, idea of what you're dealing with. Now I misspoke. The water is actually a small stream that comes into the main passageway. You guys see the map?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And 10-foot squares, and this is what you found, and it was kind of cool. Now you came from the north, from the top, and you're moving down. Okay.
Mhm.
So the top part, it goes for long ways, and surprisingly, you've been on a straight stretch for a long ways. Like it's surprisingly straight for a passageway. Well, still a little windy, as you can see. And parts of it have been kind of chewed out roughly, you can tell at one point, well, perhaps hundreds of years ago, in some instances or more,
Mhm.
and so on. So you guys are set up here, and what I'll do is let you guys think about who's sleeping when, and I'm just going to make a couple rolls here as you guys spend your first rest shift in one place. You know how dangerous that can be.
Mhm.
So I
Well,
basically make a number of rolls to metagame decide how I DM this is when you rest, of course. I will make, oh, anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to do this.
Well, Boudica and Silk need consistent rest for spell reclaiming. So I recommend you guys either take first or last watch. And the rest of us fill in around you two.
I can re-memorize flying. That's another spell I've used before.
Yeah. Just between your memorization time and your rest requirement time, I'd recommend you guys do first and last watch with a couple of henchmen, and
Sure.
then the other 2 of us will take the middle 2 watches, and each with a henchman. Well, I guess there's what, 7 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good group. Now, oh, that's what I remembered. Last time I remember Boudica, you were searching bodies because you were looking for tokens and those hidden brooches. You didn't succeed, did you? Remember you missed them, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, because I found the list and whatnot that has all the secret ones, and you'll know that if you know the intricacies somewhat of the drow, in that they have these personal tokens that often betray themselves because it'll be their true allegiance, that token, and it also will tell you who they are truly working for, which could come in hand, and so who their enemies are. It could be something. We'll see. So here we go. So you guys are setting up shop, taking first shift, unless I'll make my rolls. First shift seems pretty quiet. Yeah, it's quite tranquil here with those crystal veins. Quite beautiful. Okay, so next shift, whoever's switching out, that's fine. You guys doesn't too important right now. And I'll assume there are 3 shifts roughly.
4.
4 shifts. Okay.
Each of us is taking one.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 times for random encounter over a shift. So it's the sort of the 3rd or 4th shift, I suppose. And you guys are switching out. Anyone want to talk or role play anything? It's really eerily quiet. You don't hear much. You might see a critter that you haven't seen before, some nocturnal thing that scurries away and is curious about you, perhaps,
It's
or
nice.
looking for food. Yeah, or yeah, it's one of those creatures like in a Star Wars movie that tongue shoots out and grabs a snail or whatnot. The waters here is so rich and pure. You found yourself, whoever drank from this water
Uh-oh.
has great sleep. And in fact, if you would heal some damage if you had some. Yeah,
Ooh.
and you get a full rest and you're fully invigorated with this mineral water.
Mm. This must be someplace that most people down here would know about then, if they're traveling long distances. Then.
Yeah. Sure.
True, and there is actually signs that have been covered up, and some more tried, some less, of activity of people have stayed here. Definitely, a lot of travelers.
Yeah.
But for the moment, nobody passed through. Nobody came in here, and perhaps later I'll tell you guys a couple of something that could have happened here. Silk, you missed something when you made that roll. Check for stuff in here. I was gonna have some fun with you guys, but the rolls were not there. So you guys wake up in the quote unquote morning, because right now you can detect if we're on the right track. It should be roughly early morning on the surface so far. 24 hours have gone by, and so far so good. Anybody want to say anything before we head off? You guys are like, shoulder your packs, adjust them, and remember the sinkholes and so on, and you look around.
Oh, forget this.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna move on.
Sounds good.
You remember this spot? It's like, boy, that's a nice spot. Boy, I really feel good about that. It's nice.
Never thought anything down here could be so nice.
Yeah. And off we go. So the next hex, the journey begins, or as you guys move through, let's take a short bio. If it's about, we're at the hour and a half mark here, whatnot. I'm not sure if we're gonna go over two or 3 hours. Some people might have to go, and that's completely okay.
I've got till 9, so 9 my time, so I got another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So we'll take short little couple minutes, and we'll
Okay.
resume. Sorry, I needed a moment here. Look up a couple things. Testing. For sure.
What is the scale of each hex again?
You estimate about a mile. But it's such slow going down here. Actually, I have to speed up your progress because I'm gonna, yeah, I'll be shrinking or expanding your process. I'm gonna put the shifts down to, it's gonna take you like 4 hours to go a hex, unless something, but often you have to backpedal, remember, right? You go down a long passageway and you spend 2 hours, 3 hours, right?
Mhm.
Oh, and I forgot to roll for, oh, Pathfinder. On that note, you have to roll for this, this hex to see how well you do. We find another sinkhole or something.
Okay. So it's
So
an
that would be, what is your on ranger? One
Yeah.
moment. If roll 20 isn't cooperating, I can let you know.
Yeah, my character sheet is not pulling up for whatever reason on my computer.
Okay. No problem. I shall.
'Cause
have a look.
occasionally my computer decides to be a jerk.
Not a problem. All right, so Boudica. So we'll just go with the wisdom or intelligence check, Boudica.
Okay.
Yep.
So let me roll that 20-sided die. Let's see what we find.
Sure.
Rolled well under.
So you're pretty confident you're not lost. Some moments you're kind of scratch your head, and you have brought the group into a couple dead ends, of course. That's why it takes so long to go a mile, right? So, as I said, but if you're pretty confident, you're on track. So we're into the third hex now, and you entered an area where the passageway expands up, the ceiling goes up suddenly, and there are large stalactites and stalagmites, and some of them joining in the big columns. It's one of those big rooms or caverns. There are areas where the floor disappears into blackness, and there's a cold air coming from there, from below. The ceiling in some places goes way up. And you enter this area cautiously, and you gave the signal because you're looking around, and it seems fine though and clear. And then you hear this clear voice. Now, do you speak Undercommon? There's a good chance you would. Now, I might have bushwhacked some of you. Undercommon is like a dialect of common.
Yeah, I know for sure that I picked up on drow. I'm not sure if I picked up any undercommon.
I'll assume that you have rudimentary because you have roots here.
That's fair.
You would have understood it somewhat. That was the language of the slaves and the undercast, right? And the other races of the Underdark. Not many of them spoke Drow. That's Drow was sort of a forbidden tongue. Most of them weren't allowed to speak Drow, of course. So you hear, and I suppose Zhang, you would hear it as well. Now your Underdark isn't as good, I'm
No.
assuming, right? So you give me a intelligence check to see if you can kind of understand the gist of this voice that comes from an unknown location.
Actually, I don't pass that.
So you don't understand it, and but Boudica, you hear, welcome to my toll. You may leave your most magical, powerful item before me before you can go. You have 1 minute to decide. And then it stops. And I'm putting on a ticker.
Did just she heard that, or just she understood it?
Just her.
But we don't know where it's coming from, the voice? Oh, we don't hear it. Okay, just her.
Zhang, you're of course in full alarm mode. You can act. You hear this voice. It's audible. And the others, you can hear something up ahead. And you're close enough that you got the signal from Zhang.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know what, but something's going on.
We'll
Yeah,
say
I
that
relay
you're
this information.
so about 30 seconds has passed.
So,
Um,
anybody see anything? Anybody just see who's talking? What's going on?
I'm tapping my invisibility on my brooch. Don't know if it'll help.
Mm.
I'm going quiet.
And here it's dark. It's dark, by the way. Here, I forgot to mention that. So your light sources are up and operating.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, okay, what's wrong? Like, distant.
Time's
so
up.
we can ask.
I love it.
fuck.
Okay. Zhang and Boudica, give me 6-sided rolls.
Okay. Oh my. Unless you
No,
were
that's a
checking for
good thing because now we roll initiative. You were not surprised,
Oh, her
but you
surprise is
still
even
don't see
less.
anything. What I meant. No, actually, you don't see anything.
She's
Yeah.
surprised even less than that. 'Cause
Yeah.
She's her surprise now is a percentage.
Okay, what I will do is above you and probably about 50 feet. This I will give you this. You won't. You lost initiative,
Mhm.
right? But you're not surprised, so it doesn't get a free round.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna say it. A beholder appears in front of you,
Yikes.
Son of a bitch.
and you know you've seen these kind, and you see this large sphere, probably 8 feet across, larger, with this large eye in the middle, a jagged mouth full of teeth, and multiple tentacles that have eyeballs at their end above.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, yum, yum, yum. This will be fun."
Yikes.
Okay, give me one moment. As you see, there's effects. The eyeballs are concentrated on you,
Yep.
and there's effects happening. So unless you have some move you can that takes less than, oh no, these actions cost less than that. All right. So at Zhang, you see 3 eye stalks look towards you.
Uh-oh.
And we'll start with this.
Okay.
2. How is your charm resistance?
She does have something on that. Give me 1 second.
As you see this ray of yellow light beam comes out and connects with your eyes in an attempt to mesmerize you. This thing's highly intelligent. You know these things have exceptional intelligence, in fact. I sense lots of magic, he says. Ooh, all goodies. I'll take them all.
Charming. ESP. I don't think it's actually charm. No, I don't think I have anything on charm because.
Okay, give me a resistance roll versus spell.
Okay, so she has 20% resistance. That's for sure. And didn't pass that.
Did not?
Did not. She's got a 20% magic resistance due to her brooch.
If this was the master.
Friend, will you not help me? Ah, you are my friend now. Yes, help me. These others they betray you.
Does she
And
get a saving throw on that one?
well, the thing is, your best friend has just asked you to help him.
Okay.
You don't get a saving throw. You missed your saving throw.
No, I haven't made a saving throw.
No, that was a resistance to magic. or
Magic
something.
resistance.
Oh yeah, you do get a.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there a saving throw against that ability?
Yeah, you get a saving throw.
Actually, you're right. There might not be. Does somebody have a player's handbook? Charm person. I think you do get a save though.
Give me 1 second.
This is important. Let's quick look this up.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
As it's big, he has a good chance. I didn't have my player's handbook open at the moment. I'll look too, and maybe we'll find it first. Who knows? Charm person would be magic user, spell 3rd level.
You're not an elf. 90% charm.
Is it 2nd level or I think it's magic user?
Charm person. I think it's 2nd level. Might be third.
I think it's 3rd.
Saving throw negates.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So go ahead. And this is the first eye stock of 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a spell save, or
Yes. Yes.
okay. There is everything here.
This thing has freaking a lot of eye stocks. Oof.
Whoa! She only rolled a 5.
Wow, you failed it?
Yeah, I did. I rolled a 4.
So this is suddenly your best friend. Won't you help me? Now you have to interpret that. She hasn't given you a direct order to kill your friends or something. She's just saying, this thing's smart. I gave it a she. It's a she apparently. Okay.
Okay.
Now it detects that it's successfully charmed you, and so the second eye stalk. Pardon me. Stops, it closes before it projects it's, oh no, give me 1 second actually.
See how they function.
Nope, she decides not to project that one. The third one. You're lucky. You're lucky. Oh boy, she could have disintegrated you. I'm rolling on it, the abilities. So she decides to just go with the charm. She's smart. She knows, hey, I now have a friend. Won't harm her, as she hopes. Now, pardon me, who else was here? Boudica.
Yes, I
You were
was.
originally talked to, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so you get, I'll roll here a moment. Okay, there are 3 eye stalks swivel to you. And the first, now this thing recognized you. Interesting. Brad, you got the player's handbook open. Could you look up a slow spell? I think it's like, now I think I know what it is. Give me a saving throw, Boudica, and
Okay.
we'll see if that's necessary. So you can give a 20-sided. Okay, that should pass. Okay, so the second ray is a, no, that's not, I have to re-roll that. Already used that stock, already used that one. I keep roll again. Holy, Jesus. How many times do I roll that? Oh. Okay, this one's a nasty. You are special, a half-breed. And he pulls one nasty black stalked eye socket, swivels around, and shoots a ray. And this ray is black as death as it goes towards your heart.
Okay. So that's frightening.
Yeah, let me just double check here. How many hit points do you have?
I again, I can't access my character sheet at all. It's just not opening for me.
Okay, I'll need a moment here. So
Holy crap, slow is actually a pretty powerful spell.
it is.
It is,
40
yeah.
4 I think it's, well, what's the double quotes? That's 4
Unfortunately, with the
so 40 feet by 40-foot area, one creature per level, or whatever level it is. And it acts as basically the opposite of a haste spell, so everybody is at half speed within that area, anyway. So depending on how many of us it hits that are around you. I'm third, I'm not in line, I'm not sure how far away I am. But
It's coming from the eye stalk. It's like a laser pointer.
it might get named too, but it's an area spell though.
Yeah, and so this thing being intelligent. Now the others I said were, I'm gonna make a roll here to see how far away the others are. Okay, they're about 80 feet away. Maximum. Okay, let me think for a minute. The slow spell is cast onto you, Boudica. But
Okay.
that's least your worries now,
I was
as
gonna say,
I need a saving throw here, and this one's just a straight up save versus death spell.
shit.
And so this one would be death magic, basically.
Yeah. God damn it.
That's gonna be close. Let me double check here real quick. This is a big roll. Yeah, that's close.
We don't have a close-up mapping.
Not close enough. Ranger. You're what level ranger? 10, right?
10th, yes.
8. That's correct. Okay, I'm just double checking here because this is a big one. Because Boudica may feel the icy fingers ripping her life essence out of her body. No, you don't have a wisdom bonus. I was looking, you might have that.
No, I don't.
You don't have a con bonus. I thought it might change the saving throw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's your save is 8 right now, 10th level ranger, and your 6th level cleric that would give you 9, so 8's better ranger.
Yeah.
So Boudica slowly collapses as her eyes don't even close, and we may end the session on that note. Because this looks like it's going to get serious, and Boudica, you've been slain.
Yeah, I figured.
A death ray.
Yeah, as soon as you said black ray,
Yeah, that's what I
with my
figured.
heart, yeah, I knew exactly what that was.
Wow. When I rolled for the encounter, I was like, oh crap. It's one of the toughest on the table.
They're always challenging. They never give you an easy fight.
I gave you guys a minute.
You did.
Well, I don't know. I asked Boudica, but did she say anything about what was happening?
Yeah,
You
she
did not. Or she did a bit. Yeah, she
Yeah,
did. That's right.
I did. I
She did,
divulged.
She
I
said she
have an idea.
relayed. So
But she just had a voice with no body, no sighting, no impression of where it was coming from, no
No,
other
just-
details. There was nothing to do except wait to see what happened next. So
Yeah.
I don't know what there would have been to do.
Okay,
So.
because I had an idea of laying down your most valuable magic item. I was going to put down that ring of delusion that I have. It's cursed.
Oh, that would have been
I was
good.
waiting for Boudica to say something, but I didn't. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
Boudica,
Well, and like this, one of those
Come on.
instances where it's in the moment. It was a random
Yeah.
encounter. I'm playing the creature quite ruthlessly because I read its intelligence.
Oh yeah.
This thing it's here just randomly collecting a toll, scooping up magic items and perhaps some meal. Our slave,
Or both.
or both.
Yeah, I looked, Darren. I had a little bit of a bonus to that one for being a mental thing, but it still wasn't enough to make me pass.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So here we are, and Boudica collapses in slow motion.
Now I did relay that through to them too, that there was something happening up here, that some voice just talked, and then she passed that on. So
Yeah,
they
we
know
can act now,
something's
of
going
course.
on.
Oh yeah, yeah. The rest of the group is going to be, I said, 80 feet away. So some will be able to act, some others not, and so on. We'll see what happens. But what a deadly
I'm probably
foe.
close. I was third in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the middle section. So anyway, Scott's got to go here in about 10 minutes. So we'll see you next week to find out what else happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
You
this
know,
foe is tough.
we both had bad rolls.
I know. I was like, you guys kept failing. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
And,
Yeah.
yeah,
so-
Boudica, and technically you have been slain.
Yeah,
Shite, and you're a cleric. That's very bad news.
that is
Yeah.
super bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, we're beyond the point where your negative hit points can be resuscitated. Like you've actually been slain.
Yeah, so there's no way to to do anything.
I'm worried. Like, did you guys have a wish spell left or anything like that? Or I'm not sure if you guys have a power that can help her, because I started to think like this could be real
Did have a
serious.
wish item, but I don't remember if we used all of it or not. Top check
Yeah.
characters.
Might have to carry her
Yeah,
body for a few days.
We'll check it over. Everybody checking stuff this week and make sure we're still getting back used to the characters. So we really got to make sure we know what we have.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say I hope everybody had fun.
Yeah, this was, jeez.
I wonder, yeah, because you guys are deep in it too. You're in here.
A full day and a half's travel underground.
hmm Well, and this counter still just started. This beholder
Yep.
has quite a character. I've given it some personality and traits and such. The name.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll carry on next week.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a bit if everyone wants to hang for a bit and chat or whatever. I'm in no rush, so I'll stop the recording and we can chat about characters and such. And you guys can give me some feedback if you want about what you think and my style and so on, and how much of a jerk I can be.
Hey, I'm used to getting killed around. Yeah.
This is going to take